Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 444. It is Sunday, October 26th, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. It is a beautiful fall day, and the colors outside my window are just amazing. And it just makes me sad that all these pretty leaves are gonna fall off. And it's gonna be doom and gloom until May. All right, I'm gonna put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away. And I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Tina, welcome. All right. So I'm going to hold on to the camera. Actually, let me just point you. Let me see if you can see the color of my tree that's out in front of the deck. It's my window. And then that tree is a little green and a little bit orange right now, but it's coming. But I mean, that one there, I mean, just seeing it through this camera ain't doing anything compared to the color that is actually there. It is amazing. I know, I'm a dork, and that's okay. All right. Oh, man. How you doing, Tina? Happy Sunday. All right. So let's squish in just a tad bit. Focus some lighting on. Push this down. Yeah, I think we're good. We're going to go like that. Okay, I think we're good. We're done messing. All right, so again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. PenguinZ33@outlook.com is my email address that you can request a catalog if you do not have a demonstrator that you're working with. And I also have a Facebook page, Stampin' for Joy as well. So how this works is I record this. I am live on my Joy Borwedge page, Facebook page. And then I take today's project and I take a picture of it, put it on my Instagram. And then I also put the pictures on both Facebook pages. And then I download the video on YouTube because the Facebook Lives only last 30 days on these two videos. So if you miss the 30 days, you can find the YouTube page or the YouTube, the video on YouTube. Boy, words are hard sometimes, you know? Okay, so, just gonna turn off, I have to turn off the light. Okay, so, let's talk about a few things that are going on. You have probably seen this catalog. This is the annual catalog that has basically all our basic products in there. Our color lines, our tools that we have, and then we have two mini catalogs that kind of, they're supplements, and they come at the beginning of the year, and then they come from September through December. And what that does is it allows Stampin' Up! To keep the annual catalog down in weight, so then that way it doesn't cost demonstrators, but it also allows Stampin' Up! To introduce new products different times of the year. Well, moving forward in the digital age, Stampin' Up! Has also started doing the online exclusives. Now, anybody can check out the online exclusives, and that is in the drop-down menu, and you can hit shop online exclusives. And the reason why they're called that is because they're not going to be seen in a catalog, and it allows, again, Stampin' Up! To introduce new products several times a year without having to do a page layout. It takes about 2 years to get a catalog put together and put it to print. So now this is the, oh, I'm not supposed to show that. Oops. This is the November online exclusives. I wasn't supposed to show that front picture there. But what happens is right now, demonstrators get a chance to pre-order from here. And one thing about being a demonstrator is that you get about a month to pre-order from all the catalogs. So like these 2 catalogs, you get a month to play with. You can order what you want and then see what other people play with. And then you're like, oh, I really like that as well. I'm going to get that. So what I do to you guys, other demonstrators also do to me. So, but with the pre-order, something that's coming up at the end of the week. So on Friday, that is the last day of the month. That is Halloween coming up. And that is ending the best deal Stampin' Up! Has ever had. So if you thought about becoming a demonstrator, and you can be a hobby demonstrator, that's basically what I am. You don't have to do stamp camps. You don't have to do events. You don't have to do Facebook Lives. You don't have to have a YouTube page. It's totally and completely up to you to be a hobby demonstrator and just get products at a discount. And the majority of the demonstrators that are in Stampin' Up's business do that. Now, we're in for the discount, okay? Now, the demonstrators that sign up by the end of October will get a 20% discount on future products. But based upon sales, that discount can go up. So I, myself, make 25% off. So right now, you can join for $35. Now go into the catalog and spend $125 worth of products that you want. You can do Holiday Mini. You can do the annual catalog. You can do the online exclusives. You could do the pre-order online exclusives. You could do the last chance list. It is really whatever you want. You cannot go over the $125, but you only pay $35 and it's free shipping. Same thing for this one. Normally what the kit is you pay $99 and you get $125 worth of product. That's what the normal kit is. But this time Stampin' Up! Is allowing 2 different thresholds. So you can pay $99 for the kit and pick out $189 of the product, whatever you want, from whatever category you want. Catalogs, online exclusives, whatever it is. Again, you cannot go over the $189. So if you see this video and you're not a demonstrator and you don't mind getting a 20% discount, check it out. Email me, and if you have any questions on anything, you can let me know. Now, the last chance list I have brought up means that Stampin' Up! Is not going to restock these supplies. And so that means that these products will eventually run out. And so Stampin' Up! Will put them on the discontinued list. A lot of these products have been marked down at a discount. So check that out. And then the 12 days of crafting advent calendar. This is something that Stampin' Up! Has never done before. And this is actually a crafting calendar made for... Cool, Tina. I'm glad you think it's awesome. So the 12 days of advent crafting calendar, it has nothing to do with Christmas. It has nothing to do with the season. What it does happen to deal with is that it's like a gift idea to yourself or a friend. Now, it comes with 12 doors, and you open up these doors one day at a time during the Advent season. However, if this was my Advent calendar, I would open up that sucker and I'd get all those doors open. So, it comes with a stamp set, and actually it's a 2-pager stamp set because it's kind of large. And it's everyday products. So you'll also get designer series paper, accessories, dies. So it's a very fun product that you can get. And the number is 167335. Now, Stampin' Up! Didn't tell us how many they ordered. So it's, again, while supplies last. And then what I have been doing lately is every once in a while I'll get squirreled, and I'll have like a paper pumpkin, and I'll take that and design that. But what I've been doing is showcasing products from my last, so like this is Facebook Live number 30. Today I am on 444. So what I've done is, because you can no longer go in and see these videos made because Facebook has decided to delete all the videos after 30 days, what I have done is recreated them. And so this is Facebook Live number 442. So you can go back in and watch that video. And if you do a thumbs up and a heart, you'll get a chance to get entered to win this card. Now, I do that with every card. So if you do a thumbs up or a heart on the video, that gets your name entered into the drawing. If you leave a comment, that also leaves your name to get a comment into the drawing. If you leave a comment, you get entered, is what I'm trying to say. And if you share this on your timeline, you get 2 entries. So there's 4 different ways you can get entered to win the project of the evening. And so that is how that works. All right, so let me show you. This is Facebook Live number 31. And this is using, and I believe it's champagne. I don't think it's the silver foil. And it says, the good things in life are better with you. Just saying hello. And so that was Facebook Live number 31. So I have taken this style, this layout, and I have redesigned it to accommodate today's project and using products that you can now purchase. And so what we're going to be using is several different things. We are going to be using the right words. This is from the annual catalog, and it's on page 89. I really like that it has quite a lot of greetings. Now, it is a red rubber stamp set, so that means at the end of December, at the end of the catalog, this could be put on the last chance list. So what's happening is we're going to photopolymer, so the clear. Okay, so now this stamp set is in the actual catalog, and what's going to happen is Stampin' Up! Still has red rubber and can still make red rubber stamps while supplies last. So when they sell out of something, this actually could retire before the annual catalog retires itself. So this one says, but just know how much I love and care about you. I wish I had the right words for a time like this. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. Sending good vibes. You're so kind. Thinking of you, ... a lot. And then, to someone worth celebrating every single day, Thanks so much for thinking of me. Happy birthday. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by the wonderful memories. Forever loved and forever remembered, and I miss you already. This is a really great word stamp set that goes on the front of the card and also the inside of the card. So I love the fact that the sentiments can fit both inside and outside. We're also going to be using the Sweet Blooms stamp set and the dies. So this is a bundle. This is actually a mega suite. It's on page 43 in the annual catalog. And so I'm kind of putting together a few things. And then we're going to be using the Earthen Tone texture, which is out of the annual catalog. And then we're going to be using the sunflower. Now, where did I put that? We're also going to be using the Sunflower 3D embossing folder. Now, this has been going in and out of the stock, so I actually forgot to check before. So if you want this and it's not available right now, you can always leave your address, your email address, so that when it comes back in stock, that means Stampin' Up! Will send you a message saying, hey, it's back in stock. Sorry, I forgot to check that. All right, so this is what we're going to be playing with. And I am just going to take a drink. All right. So this is it is called Foam Adhesive Sheets. It is in the annual catalog, and it's kind of like a big dimensional. So I actually wrote on here for the vanilla piece because I want to make sure I remember to use that. This here is, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's the foam adhesive sheets, and what I do is anything that I break apart is on the back side, full sheets are on the front side. I do the same thing with Designer Series paper. Then I'm actually remembering to use this. This is the adhesive sheets, and it looks like this. And it comes 6 by 12. And again, I do the same thing. I put the smaller pieces on the back side, and this helps with delicate or intricate dies. And then, so I said we're using the Earthen Tone texture. You can kind of see the color there. It is more of a chocolate color than a brass or a copper. And then we're also using the Early Espresso two-toned cardstock. And I just want to show you the difference. One side, I put the smaller pieces in one so then they don't get crushed. So you can see that there's two different colors on each side. So this is the natural color, and then there's a lighter shade. And so what Stampin' Up! Did is they have this in the annual catalog, and they have all colors in the two-tone cardstock. Now this could be great for scrapbooking as well as card making because it helps it not get so thick and heavy so that it costs less to send. All right, so this is a piece of that Earthen Tone texture. It is 4 by 3. Now this is in the Holiday Mini Catalog. Then we're using Very Vanilla, and this is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Again, Very Vanilla, and this is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to put this right next to each other because I want to make sure I remember to use that. Then I have a piece of that two-tone. It is 5 by 1/2 inch. Now, the main piece, we're going to be using the dark, and then this piece, we're going to be using the light. So I'm actually going to showcase both of those colors in the same card. Now I have a piece of that earthen tone texture, which is 4.5 by 1/2. I'm going to put those right there, and then that way you could see the measurements. And this piece is, why do I have that 4x3 piece? Oh, never mind. I do know why. This here, again, is that earthen tone, and it is 5 by 3 3/4. And then a piece of that two-tone cardstock, and I have the wrong side up. I wanted to be the dark side. So this is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then pecan pie. This is going to be our card, and this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/4. All right, and I am just going to let that sit for just a moment, and then that way you can come back and say, you know, I really like that card that Joy made. I'm just going to pause it. I'm going to give you enough time so that you see it, and then you can get it paused and play with it. I know it was a little dark by there, so maybe bring that forward. I don't know. At least I read it right. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to take the measurements off, and so we're going to actually do some die cutting, and we're going to do some embossing with the Stampin' Cut emboss machine. So we're going to use those, both of them. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to attach, no, we're not. We're going to take this piece and we're going to attach it. I grabbed the wrong piece, and we're going to put that on the pecan pie. And we're going to have the darker side be our base. And I'm not going to push down until I like where it's sitting, and I think I got a good border. Just a tad bit up. There we go. Squish. Now we're good. Okay, so now I can put that to the side for now. And let's see here. So this is our card for the inside, and we're not going to do anything with that right now. And I'm going to grab my silicone craft sheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off. Actually, I did this, well, no, I did this okay. Let's see. I'm going to take the big sheet off. All right, so we're going to put that right here, line that up. Okay, and then we're going to line that up. Kind of did it wrong. I basically did it backwards. Okay, so I want these lines in here because that's going to help me tear them off the words once I put them on. So what I'm trying to do is I got the adhesive on the back, right? And so this here is going to go through the die cutting machine like this, all right? And it's going to have that sticky stuff on the back side. And so we're going to peel those off, and that's going to help stick. Okay, see where we're going? And then this piece right here is going to get through here. And so we're going to put that and that. And then this is a thick piece, like a very big dimensional. And so that's going to go on the back side of this. So it really doesn't matter which side you take off. And you're going to put that on the back here. Okay, so now we're going to grab the Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. I'm going to put that silicone mat back, just because when I deal with adhesive, I like to have that silicone craft mat so that it helps me go through it. Okay, so this is going to be going through this. And so I want to make sure that this goes on the whole piece. Okay, so we're going to basically put that through on the adhesive, and it's going to die cut through both those pieces. All right, so we're going to go grab the Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. And I grabbed all the plates. Okay, so then we have set that on top of there. That doesn't do any good. All right, and let's see. Let's go over there. Okay, so we have plate number 1. And so we're going to take these 2 off. And we're going to go with this big piece right here. And then we're also going to emboss that piece as well. So when you have an embossing folder, the top part with the logo and the line, that is the part that when you take it out, it's going to be embossed. Okay, so if you flip this upside down and you have your sheet facing this way, it's going to be debossed. So that means the majority of your parts are going to be sunken in. So how I like to make sure I am doing it the way I want to is I open up my folder and I line it up with that line. Okay, and seeing as how I have this other piece that I want to go through it at the same time, I am just going to put that, I'm going to close it up, and I'm going to try to put that in. Now, it doesn't matter with this particular one because it's not something that needs to be straightened, or you just want to make sure you like where your pieces are going to hit. And so I think I like that. And you always need to make sure that the hinge part goes towards the rollers, because otherwise it will not work. Then the other thing with a 3D embossing folder is you have the number 4 plate. And so I put 3D embossing folders so that when I do stamp camps, hi Barb, I see you. When I do stamp camps or events, that way people do not mix those up and basically ruin my machine. Because if you're at a different station helping another customer, that could certainly happen. Okay, so I have this really beautiful embossed sunflower from that folder. And how you doing, Barb? And then that is for the outside, and this is going to be actually on the inside of the card as well. Okay, so we're done with the 3D embossing folder. We're going to put that aside. And then this is done now. So we just need the clear plates. So it really tells you on here, that's this one right here. That's using with 3D embossing folders. You just need a 1 and a 4. Every day working with dies, you just need the top one. So you need a 1, a 2, and a 3. You need basically 2 3s. Okay, so there's 1. Here is number 2. Mine is very warped, so I do mine upside down. My cutting plate, This is number 3. This is very well loved. It's still going to be very well loved until that sucker breaks. Then I have this one, which I kind of see through, and this one is the top plate. So it's also a number 3. So with the lovely, we're just going to make sure that this is, I can see by holding it through the light that I'm going to make sure that I hit all the, let's see, that big sheet, that foam adhesive sheet on the back side. Now you might need to go through it twice, so I am just going to go once, and I'm going to go twice, and you know what, 3 times, and I'm going to go 4. And the only reason why I did that was because it's kind of thick, right? And I just want to make sure that it cut all my parts, and it looks like it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that off, and so it's going to say lovely, and we're going to push this through, okay? And so that goes through here. And through there. There we go. My lovely is now on one big dimensional. Okay. Come on. It looks like it. There we go. It was just stuck. And so there we go. And now, hi, Carolyn, welcome. Now, the back side here has, yeah, it's called Foam Adhesive Sheets, and it's in the annual catalog. It is basically just one big dimensional. So when you have these, what I call bubbles, okay, and you just add them to the back side of your cardstock, and it basically cuts that out. Now, I know that there's a demonstrator out there that really likes to use them instead of dimensionals and just cuts them. So we're ready. We're going to put this on the silicone craft mat because some of that adhesive that coverage came off. And so it's going to stick to here, but then I'll be able to lift it up once I'm ready to take the backing off everything else. So I'm just going to lay it on there. Now we're going to do the rest of the die cutting. This one, we took the adhesive sheet and laid it on the piece that we have here. And we're going to put lovely. Now this is the fine cut one, and that's going to go in the middle. And we're really not going to need to do anything else for die cutting in this particular card. Okay, and so we're going to take this off. And so this die, okay, so I could still actually cut this out, and it has adhesive on it. So just think, I could do a leaf, you know. Haha. There is a leaf in here. How about, I didn't plan on this, but there's that die right there. We could stick that die in there, and we'll pull out. Be very delicate so that you're not going to distort it. So I'm going to punch out all my other pieces, but I'm going to lay that gently down. So everything just came out very nicely with that. And I wasn't planning on doing anything else, but if we put this leaf there, that way I'm not going to throw it away. I mean, it comes with the set. Might as well use it, right? Okay. I didn't do that in the original card, but why somebody's going to win this card. This can go, that could be a cute leaf, right? And it has adhesive backing on it. So we'll take that. Now, I'm not going to throw that away because I have a lot of space that has adhesive on the back. And I'm going to put this in the metallic paperwork. Let's see. Okay, so you get 3 sheets of the Earthen Tone Metallic. And what I do with everything I do is on the back side, I put in here the full sheets are on the front and on the back. But I'm going to leave this way so that I remember that there's adhesive strips on the back. So if I find any other reason to make die cuts out of that, that'll work really well. Okay, so now that we're done with this, I am just going to move that to my die cutting station. All right, and let's get our parts now that we can actually do stuff with. Okay, so we're going to move. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to grab the people poker off the take your pick tool, and we're going to poke out the L part for the lovely and the O part, and then this piece came out already. The adhesive is on there, and then this piece is out. Whoops, we'll move that. There we go. Come on, let's go. You have been evicted. All right, then the E part, and then that big piece off the Y. All right. So I'm going to move the trash off so then I can, oops, my Y got stuck because the adhesive it got pulled off of this one. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to just sit down for a second because I need to find those little tiny lines, and we're going to pull off. I don't see them. Wait, maybe there's one right there. In the adhesive sheets, those lines, there we go. And so look for those lines that will help you take those off, and use take your pick tool, and as you gently peel that away, take your pick tool to hold, and find that other line. My finger is stuck. All right, I know where it's at though. It's right here. And there we go. Oops, wrong spot. Garbage can over there. And is that all off? Nope. Now I see a little tiny line right here that I can pull that. So I'm using the light to help me see. That's why I needed to sit down. It's because I was looking at it at an angle. So I'm going to lift this up, and I am going to start with one letter. And how I did it in the beginning was, or the original, I actually started with my V, and I guided things as I went. and then I pushed down, because when you pull this off your die, you don't want to distort those letters. And get back over there. Here we go. And then now, this is actually, I mean, like, how cool is that? So this is on Very Vanilla and those dimensionals. And so you could see that that adhesive strip is going to work really well. And so we're just going to move that for a moment, and we're going to add adhesive all the way around. Now I should be doing this on here, but because my Y, let's see if I could do this. Because my Y, the adhesive is stuck or unstuck, so having it on the silicone mat, it will release just perfectly. And there we go. So then we're going to take this and we're going to put this on our this is kind of like a fall card that I wanted to do, but these sunflowers, it's kind of just looking out the window and seeing the colors of, I went for a walk on Friday after work, and every time I go home, there's this tree by the gas station, and I posted that on Facebook because it was just so beautiful. I parked behind the gas station, and I just had to do it. I went and took pictures of a tree. All right, so I am going to use pecan pie, and the inside of the sentiment is going to say, sending good vibes. Now, this card is going to say, have a lovely day on the front, and then the inside is going to say, sending good vibes. So hopefully, whoever wins this card knows somebody that may be getting a new job, or is interviewing, or is looking for a job, or somebody that or maybe somebody's having a birthday. That would be a good reason to send good vibes. You're just thinking about somebody. So then we're going to take this and we're going to adhere it to the inside of the card. And I like to leave just a little tiny base. Oops. Get over there. There we go. There we go. Just a little tiny of Very Vanilla on the bottom there. And then we're going to take that and flip that over. Now, if I didn't like this, I could flip it over and then adhere my beautiful sunflower piece. But I like to decorate the inside of my card as well, because my handwriting is not the best. And that is why when you win cards from me, you get that little tiny piece of paper in there that says, please use this card. And I got basically not tired of writing them, but my handwriting is not the best, so I want you to be able to actually read them. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of the card. All right, all right, so then now we're going to take this, and we want the lighter side up, and then now we're going to take that big dimensional, the adhesive backed foam, and we're going to put that on here, just to kind of give me a straight look. And then I'm just going to snip up and just eyeballing it. So it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay because this is a handmade card. And then I'm going to lay this down on the mat, the glass mat, and I am going to make a banner. So I want to do a hole on that side, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to line that up and then poke a hole, because I, for the life of me, cannot find the middle to cut up and then make that look good. I have to do it this way. I have to be able to find that hole and then cut towards it. There we go. There's one. And see, it's still a little off center, but that's... And then I'll have to sit there and fight with myself to redo it. Now that looks better. Okay. So then we're going to do that one. I have to look towards the light. Okay. There we go. And then, just make sure. And then we're going to put adhesive on this. And we're going to put that kind of across the banner. Kind of like that. Okay. And then this little guy, because I did not plan on having that, that's going to go by our greeting. Right there in the corner. There we go. And then now we actually have to stamp, and I actually forgot the words, the cardstock for the words. So we're going to go into my very vanilla card stock scraps. And we're going to do this one. And let's see here. Yeah, we'll just do those two right there. That one's long. I can do this one. This one's a little, I need smaller. There we go. Okay, so this is my very vanilla scrap bin. My white is... This is my white. Yes, I'm very organized. I know. Okay, I'm going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat. And we're going to stamp on those. And we're going to do... Let's see. You know, I was going to... Yeah, let's do it. I was going to change it up, but I don't want to... I'm going to have an early espresso. And then that A is a little, well, let's see if I like the next one. I'm going to flip it and pick the better two, because the A was really kind of, there we go. That one's better. And then day. Tap, tap, tap. Woohoo. Okay, not perfect, but that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. And then we're going to cut those out. And I'm going to turn my paper and not my scissors. And this is just kind of like if I had a die cut specifically for this stamp set, but I don't. And I could have done the many messages. I could have used a die from that, but I didn't want to do that. And it's supposed to be a little bit more rounded. Okay, so there we go. That's that one. And we're gonna get that little spot right there. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Just kind of keep going. Oops, I almost took that word out. And I could go in if I wanted to and do a little indent. Just indent. Well, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You could do all full, you know, nice sharp edge cuts if you wanted to, but I just wanted something different. Okay. Make that a little bit more rounded. There we go. Again, not perfect, but you know what? Cute. Okay, so we're done with the Stampin' Pearson mat. And we're going to grab this. Now, this is going to be on here. And so I want a little adhesive on that side. And then I'm going to grab a mini dimensional. I'm getting very close to being able to get out a new pack of dimensionals, but I am not there yet. I refuse to start a new pack until the edges are all used, because otherwise I would have a whole bunch of edges, and that just doesn't rock my boat. All right, so then I'm going to lay that kind of like that. There we go. And then have and we'll just do 2 chunks. 1, 2. I'm going to use my people poker to take that off. Because again, I do not have fingernails. I'm trying to grow them, but it's just not working. All right. So those can go there. And then that, see, I can't even pick these up. And whoops. That is going to go right there. Have a lovely day. And then on the inside, it's going to say, sending good vibes. And then you could say happy birthday and happy anniversary. Whatever. Thinking of you, sending you good vibes. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, this is going to be light pecan pie, and I'm going to use the nib tip, and we're going to color our rhinestones. A large, a medium, and a small. Now that's dark. And I decided I didn't like the dark. I wanted it a little bit lighter because the back side of this is kind of dark. All right, so then we're going to take that and put that there. And then we're going to put that right there. And that right there. And you know what? I don't think I have any Wink of Stella on here. It's just shiny already by itself, don't you think? Okay, so what do you think? So that is, if you can see the color of kind of like chocolate. So this was the original card, and this is today's card. And so it has that really nice elevation. Okay, so do a thumbs up or a heart. That gets your name entered to win this card. And leave a comment. That gets your name entered to win this card at a chance. And then if you share this on your timeline, maybe there might be a technique in here, or maybe the foam adhesive sheets might be something new to somebody, or maybe using the adhesive sheets, putting these two together might be something somebody else needs to see. So if you share this on your timeline, that gets you 2 entries to get a chance to win this card. So what do you think, guys? Do you like the sunflower on the earthen tone textures? I have to say, I would love this card if somebody decided to mail it to me. Sunflowers are my, let's see, I would have to say pretty much one of my favorites. So I want to say thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. Now, I will not be here on Thursday because we are having our in-person event. And thank you, Tina, very much. So the in-person event is coming up this coming Saturday, and here is the flyby of one of the cards that you will get a chance to make. That's a fun fold. And then if you would like to sign up for the virtual event, now if you're not available to do the virtual event with us, that is okay, because that is Saturday, November 15th. And we are going to send out videos after this event, so you could put together your card packets when you have time, and you will have those videos to help you. Now, here is a flyby of the card that you will be making. Both of those cards feature the stamp set bundle called Lights of Aurora, and it's from the designer series paper. It's going to be used for the in-person event, and basically you saw that it was a monochromatic card for the virtual event, kind of sharing, 2 different ways to use that card. So I will not be here on Thursday, and so I look forward to seeing you guys, some of you, in person on Saturday. Take care, guys. Have a great week, and have